Our first bit, Belmont Youth Club. And we'll go and have a look what's happening. Official opening of the club tonight. G'day Rex.
Hi.
Hey. Having a bit of trouble focusing there, but Seal make it. Oh, you need your glasses on. Oh, we'll come in here and see how this is all set up. And
yeah, right. That's his.
Hang on, I'm filming, Rex. Right, so that's the way it's all set up for tonight, and we'll zoom that in a bit and see what he's got up the other end there. Oh yeah, the throne, the lectern, a couple of old radio sets. What else we can pick up there? Oh, there's a relic. Needs a bit of fixing up, it's fallen down. We'll have a bit of a look at what Neil set up in the kitchen. Looks a bit different than last time. And the old rig talking away to itself out there. And certificates and things like that. And a bit of a look at a couple of handsome faces.
Yeah. That's a suit. A ratchet brake on it rather than a dissipate.
And that's all the spread that Neil's put down.
Ball drops into it and stops.
Everything nice and tidy.
If you just buzzing around and just let it go, you would burr it all over or break it.
Well, they did that with John Collins. Spread it all on there.
As they're coming in, we'll just take a few shots of them. And that way we'll remember who's there. There's Bernice. Looking the other way at the moment.
Yeah, at least the shed. At least the shed for you.
Scanner doesn't scan anymore, it only scans one previous one.
I would be in the van all the time, whether I was on duty or not. As an intermediary.
A couple of visitors from the bowling club where we were before at the church. Has he figured it out yet?
Yes.
All right.
Now, I was on leave before last year. I was on 5 weeks in one period, and I had come down for another 5 solid weeks. The doctor keeps telling me we've been treating you for stress for 2.
The room's a bit empty, but he left a nice message on the blackboard. Wall-to-wall blackboards. And that's some of his teaching aids and stuff like that. He's getting well set up. We're getting him plenty of instruments and bits and pieces. And the ribbon that Rob's got to cut later on.
You'll never be able to turn it over.
I don't know all the people, but I know a fair few of them. Oh yeah, there's Neil.
You're the one to be on there.
G'day, Barry.
G'day, Keith.
Such was the feeling of misery at our loss to damage and the stinky, waterlogged, mud-covered refuse that was left. I don't think that anybody can realise just how horrible it looked. You went in there and everything you touched was covered with this grey slime. And even the equipment on the walls there, if you look at, you can see that. It really made the club feel like nothing was worth having and what was going to happen. We were fortunate in the president at the time, Albert Stevens, and our members of the club rallied around and tried to salvage what was salvageable. In fact, what was salvageable was distributed with many of the friends who came to our aid. I'd like to thank and mention some of them. Not all of them, because nearly everybody in the club took something home. I want to thank Andrew Thompson, Albert, John Pyle, George Coltart, Keith Breens, Graham Osmond, and all those other club members who took home and restored these items. The Geelong jail also housed some 3 roomfuls of salvaged items, as well as that. It was the expertise of John Pyle and Bill Bond which enabled these items to be somewhat restored. Full restoration of many items is impossible. I want to think of the flooding on loudspeaker cones, transformers and wooden veneer cabinets. You only have to look along here and you'll see perfect examples of that. You put a voltage into a transformer that's been underwater and the salt's gone in it and see how it smokes. Veneer cabinets, they just flake. In fact, a number of veneer cabinets we had to take to the to receive his membership certificate. There you are, Ian. Congratulations. Which I'm proud to be a member for their efforts in creating these club rooms and taking the next step. To whom should I make special acknowledgement is a difficult task, when all the club has been involved. However, I would like to present on your behalf these certificates of appreciation. I've had them locked away so they didn't know who's getting one. The first person I'd like to ask to come forward is Barry Delaney. Now Barry has worked regularly and hard in between bowls and he's worked hard. In presenting this to you, Barry, on behalf of you, thank you very much. And I'm going to ask you to do something else. See, I've been talking too much. Would you like to tell them one of the things that happened during that time that you can remember? Oh, right. That's a bit rough, yes. Oh, right. No, I thought there might be some... pleasure, and I think everybody else's pleasure that was involved in it. I did all sorts of things with your own club, and everybody did come to the board.
Okay. One person who was worked very busy at the early stages and of the club, and one who's given a lot in a very quiet sort of way. I'd like to ask Joe Copeman to come forward. Joe will deny he's done anything right now. There's he does that right off. But I'd say thank you very much, Joe. Thank you for the recognition of what you've done. Excellent. Thank you. I don't see him here tonight. I'm looking for Joe Dax. I don't think he's here tonight. And he has been a person who has made a huge amount of effort in doing virtually every working bee. Joe's been a tower of strength. And I think all of those who have been here on the working bees
know just how much Joe has done. We want to, I'll put this away and I'll give it to him and thank him on your behalf next meeting. One person who did start working very hard, then he took a holiday. Yes, you wouldn't believe it. We've got tulips on the tablecloths just to remind him he went to Holland. And that is our past president and current Vice President Keith Reeves. And I'd like the Keith to come forward because he has, particularly since he's come back from Holland, as a matter of guilt, of course, worked very, very hard. Thank you, Keith.
Not really, but I'm glad that everybody, since the flood, really pulled together, and in the usual manner, we used to have a lot of working bees, and a lot of people worked very hard before the flood, and they worked even harder after the flood, and as you can see, the result are self-explanatory. So all I can say is agree with John and thank everybody very much for what they've done.
Thanks, Keith. Now, concurrent with the work here was the efforts with the museum. After the flood was the battle to attempt to save some of the precious items. As previously indicated, the storage was at the Geelong Jar. Within a short period of time, Bill Bond and John Pale had set up showcases of electronic items, which they had salvaged and restored in the jar. It was quite a presentable exhibition there, and more to come. The club plans to concentrate on restoring museum pieces after our auction. I would like to present a certificate of appreciation to them for their efforts in restoring and creating history with the Radio Museum. Now, unfortunately, Bill Bond is away enjoying life in Queensland. We all wish him well, and you know, I wouldn't mind being down in the sunny Queensland myself, but anyway. But his partner in restoration, and somebody who's worked equally hard, John Pyle, I'd like you to come forward, please, John. And John has done so much to see that restoring this museum. Thank you, John.
Oh yeah, I'll say thanks very much. It's a flood project, and it's something that I think Geelong needs is a museum. So we're working towards that, and the more help we can have in setting up a start of a museum in Geelong, the better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Now, the club has decided to institute a form of membership known as Friends of the Crest. Now, this is a little certificate and it's a membership. You're not a full member, but not an associate, a sort of an associate member, but just a friend of Crest. Now, it's available to all on a $5 annual subscription. It is a low-cost link with the club. It indicates your support for the work we do. I invite all non-members, that's non-pay-up members, present who wish to become such a friend to see Secretary Keith Stickland or Treasurer Jack Power. Now, I was going to show a certificate, but I haven't got one just here, so I'll probably show it later. Oh, I'm talking of Keith Strickland, I realise he was not presented with appreciation certificate. I will do so now by announcing the club is proud to honour him by making him an honoured member. I'd ask Keith to come forward, please. Congratulations, Keith. And just so that your wife will believe, we have a certificate of an honoured member, and thank you, Keith, for your work. Because believe me, without Keith's work and without his knowledge and skill, this would not have been accomplished. There is not the slightest bit of doubt. We are very grateful to you, Keith. Would you like to say a word?
I've said much of it on screen in front of the crowd and with a microphone in my hand, but I just saw a need to get things done and I tried to stir people up and we finally got it done. Thank you. I should say, I'm glad you spelled the name right too.
Yeah. But we've got used to that now. We even did it right on the honour board. You can check the spelling later. And I thank Keith Green for organising that part. Yes, this club does work together and it's done a remarkable job, as you'll see. I would now introduce you to Rod Green, who will open the building. Rod was one of the earlier past presidents. He plays an active part in developing this club in so many ways, and some of the ideas and visions he has for this club will help us move forward in our development. I would ask Rod to come forward and say thank you, Rod.
Thank you, John. This is indeed quite an honour for me to be asked to officially open the building. Before I do, there are a few things that I would like to say. And John started at the time of the flood. That's not the time of the flood at Noah's Ark, but the time of the flood at this club. I'd like to go back a little bit further than that. Some 30 odd years ago, when I first heard about the Geelong Radio and Electronic Society. And I went and paid a personal visit to a Mr. Harry Michael, who was the first president of the society. And I asked him to tell me a little bit about the society. And Harry, if you remember him, he had a second-hand shop in Geelong. He was a super salesman and he really sold me on the idea that I needed to belong to the Geelong Radio and Electronic Society. It was really made for me. So the following Thursday night, along I went to these big club rooms down on the Belmont Opening. I walked in, I didn't know anybody, but right from the very beginning I was made to feel welcome. And that, in any organisation, is an attribute, and it's something that's still working bees, not only with the members going down there, but also the members' families as well. And they worked very hard. Within the term of Bill's first office, or first year of president, the rooms were officially opened. It was due to his strong leadership that that event took place. But Bill was a person of vision as well. And he maintained quite strongly that if this group, known as the Geelong Radio and Electronic Society, was to succeed and survive, then it would have to teach people. And it's good to see that that teaching is still going on today. And it's also pleasing to see that there are many young members taking part in those classes. If you have a look over the years at the number of people who, as members of this society, because they were members or because they had attended classes here, obtained a licence to operate an amateur radio station, you will find that it is a very, very long list indeed. And as I said, it's pleasing to see that that teaching work is still going on. As you know, when was it, 1995 was a very bad year for rain, and the club rooms down on the common were trashed, to say the least. But out of every disaster, something good can occur. And what happened in this instance was that a group of energetic, enthusiastic people got together and said, we will not be put down by this, we will survive. And they did. They rallied around, they got these rooms, they got them to what you see today. And I hope that these rooms will give to all members, the members now, or present members, and also the future members. They'll give them a place where they can come not only to further their knowledge, but also to be with their friends, to enjoy fellowship with the friends that they have now, and also hopefully to make new friends. And I think that's
There actually
actually pure gold, but they're disguised in stainless steel and plastic. So it is with not only with pleasure, but also with pride that I officially declare these club rooms open. If this is
Thank you, Rob. That was marvellous. Thank you for the history. I would like now to ask you to wander around and have a look at the classrooms, kitchen, meeting room. It'll be a lot more, it should be warmer in there because it's all insulated and heated in there, and we've got the fans to send the heat down if we have to. And we'd like you to wander around. There are a few displays in there, and have a try on some of the displays, have a look at them, satellite displays and computer displays and other items. So we ask you to wander around, and then very shortly we'll, under the guidance of our Neil, our catering man, we will have some supper. So I think I ask you now to declare this part of the meeting closed and ask you to move around and enjoy yourself. Thank you for coming.
At least you got a cup of coffee out of it, Bill. Hey? At least you got a cup of coffee out of it.
Plastic and everything.
Hey Brian, you're excused now, you can go on. Thanks Brian.
Mine just arrived yesterday. I rang somebody, said, I need about 40 feet for I'll there 550.
Good on you mate, good on you. I'm coming.
Next time I go past, mate.
What's the solar cells?
I don't know who did that. That's one of the possibilities. Rob probably did because he knows how to drive it. Young thing. Chris Kelly. Hey Chris.
So, are you interested in having school